13 on Your Side starts now.
Welcome back. I'm Scott Gross. In a 13 on Your Side exclusive, two women who have bloomed through adversity are shedding light on the stigmas of mental health. Mercedes Martinez shares their stories of struggles, breaking points, and reaching the light at the end of the tunnel.
The struggles of mental health, including depression, anxiety, and addiction, are a silent battle for many. That's why two locals decided to be open and share their experience in order to break stigmas and bring awareness. They share with us their story of blooming through adversity. We do want to warn you that some of the details in this story may be difficult for some of our viewers. Since an early age, author and motivational speaker Cynthia Luna knew she had a calling to be in front of an audience and help others. But knowing her purpose in life wasn't always the case. On the contrary, Luna struggled with her mental health.
I was going through a lot of issues as in for myself, not loving myself. I think has been one of my big things, not loving myself.
Luna says that her mental health issues began during her teenage years, but got worse in high school, even to the point of harming herself.
In our culture, which is the Hispanic culture, we're still not okay with that term of depression. And we don't know how to respond.
Luna continued to battle with depression and anxiety later in life. The feelings of hopelessness came again when she felt stuck in a job she was not happy with.
So I had to make a decision because it was getting so bad that it was not only hurting me, but also my family.
After leaving the job she was not happy with, the doors of opportunity opened up. She met motivational speaker Dr. Cesar Lozano, who inspired her to do the same. She eventually wrote her own book to share her own story and help others struggling with mental health feel less alone.
I'm here to tell my audience I understand. I understand what not wanting to wake up means. I understand what locking into your bathroom describe the whole day. I understand.
Luna is now breaking the stigma behind mental health by teaching the next generation that feeling intense emotions is okay. Luna says she talks to her kids and tells her own son that it is okay to cry.
I think one of the things that we have been trying to do is have that connection and that they are open to share with us anything that they're going through. So every day we ask them, how your day was.
Welcome to the Inward Journey Home podcast. I'm Danica, your host, and I created a space dedicated to all conversations real, raw, and vulnerable.
Relationship and spiritual mentor Danica Lopez grew up with her own mental struggles while being a part of the Hispanic community. She now shares her story with others through her podcast, Inward Journey Home.
I think that stories is the most important and the most underappreciated medicine that there is. I wanted to inspire women to see past where they are today, and men.
Danica felt she couldn't escape her mind when it came to having bad thoughts after moving away from her hometown with her family. But she did try to communicate her feelings.
They heard me, but they didn't acknowledge the reality that I was living in.
Also harming herself, leading to hospitalization. After realizing what she had done and noticing her struggling neighbor, she realized this is not what she wanted. Rather, she wanted to help those also going through a mental battle.
There was something so real about seeing other people suffering that woke me up to my purpose and my mission.
Danica pursued a degree in psychology, then after that received her teaching credential. After not feeling fulfilled in her career path, she took a leap of faith, using her knowledge of psychology and teaching to start her own business, Journey to Self. Through her course, she teaches tools and techniques for people to heal and grow.
Empowering others that, you know what, it's possible for you too. And your story matters. And the trials and the tribulations and the scatteredness and the lostness, that is a part of the story. and you're only just beginning.
Through shared experiences of battling through mental health and finding purpose in life, these two women hope to bring a change to the stigmas that exist about mental health and are here to shed a light and bring hope to everyone.